Hello everyone. My name is Elisa. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing so good today. We're going to be doing my book haul revisit for the month of May, and it's a pretty reasonable book haul this time. I think there's only 6 books, so it should be a quicker video. And if you're new here, what I do in these videos is basically talk about all of the books that I hauled in previous Aprils. Right now there's only 1 year's worth to do, so I'll be talking about the books that I hauled in April of 2023. Firstly, seeing if I have read them or not. This is a good way for me to go back and ensure that I'm buying the right types of books and seeing if I need to adjust the way that I purchase, but also to remind myself of the books that I have not yet read and start prioritizing them. One way that I do that is I pick one of the books that I have not yet read and I put it on my TBR for the next month, and it's a must-read book for that month for me. So we will be picking a book at the end of this video to read in June. Yes, June. And yeah, it'll be a must read. As I go through and talk about the books, I'll mainly be talking about a really brief synopsis. If I've already read it, I might give a really brief review, but I'll be talking about why I was interested in buying it in the first place, maybe where I bought it, if that has a story to it. And yeah, that's a little bit of what you'll see in this video. So let's go ahead and get into these 6 books in the order that I initially hauled them. So first one is actually a win. It's one that I've read somewhat recently, I think I read it this year, and that is In Vitro by Isabel Zapata. It's translated from the Spanish by Robin Myers, and this one is published by Coffee House Press. I have the Coffee House Press subscription in 2023, and this one was part of that. It was also a 5-star prediction for me, so I really wanted to read it. It's a nonfiction book about in vitro fertilization, about the author's experience going through that, struggling with infertility, and her journey along the way. I won't give any more away because I don't want to spoil what happens, but this is also told in vignettes, and I really did love it. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was fantastic. It was so lyrical and kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I appreciated this rendering of that experience. And if this is a topic that you're interested in reading about, I would highly recommend it. I think it's really doing a good job of being slightly experimental with how lyrically she's talking about it, but also being very informative about the process in general. So that is In Vitro. Next up, we have one that I have not read, and that is First Blood by Amelie Nothomb. This is published by Europa Editions, and I should say it's translated from the French by Alison, oh my god, by Alison Anderson. Not Alison, Alison Anderson. And this one I specifically picked up because I loved Thirst so much by this author that I read a few years ago. It's also published by Europa, and it's also a little novella like this one. Because I loved Thirst as much as I did, I just wanted to pick up whatever she brought out next. But a little bit of why I haven't picked this up yet is I'm nervous about the blurb. I'm slightly nervous. This one is a historical fiction that's taking place in 1960s Republic of Congo, and I think it starts with this flash forward about a man who is at the end of a firing squad, and then you go back in time and see how he got there. And I'm just a little bit concerned about her writing that story. I'm not sure what the portrayal is going to be like. I haven't really heard any reviews about this, so that's a little bit of why I've been putting it off, but I do still want to attempt it. And again, it's short, so you know, it's not too much of my time wasted if I end up not liking it. So definitely I do still want to get to it, but a little bit nervous. So if you have read this, please tell me what you thought, because I'm interested to know. Next up, we have Cold Nights of Childhood. This is by Tezer Ozlu, and it's translated by Marleen freely from the Turkish, and this one is published by Transit Books. This one I saw at my favorite local indie Queen Anne book company, and it was in their translated section, which I always peruse when I go in. I had never heard about it before, and I thought the cover was really striking, and then I read the blurb and was very interested. So this was really an impulse purchase as I went into the bookstore. This was originally published in 1980, and the author died, I think, 6 years after this originally got published. And it's set in the rural Turkish provinces, and it says that it offers a sensual and unflinching portrayal of a woman's sexual encounters and psychological struggle, staging a clash between unbridled feminine desire and repressive patriarchal society. I mean, it's hitting a lot of my buzzwords there. This is exactly why I picked it up, because those are a lot of my buzzwords. This actually reminds me, now that I just read it, of, oh God, what is it called? Permafrost by Eva Baltazar. Not necessarily the character will have the same voice, but that it's a similar concept of someone really oscillating between psychological distress and sensuality. So I think I will enjoy this one, and definitely still looking forward to reading it. All right, next up we have Dying is Easier Than Loving. I think I picked this up at the same time as the last book, and this was another purchase because honestly, the title, I think I had heard someone talk about this. I think Eric Carl Anderson hauled this on his channel. I don't know if you read it, but the blurb sounded very interesting to me when he hauled it. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I truly just have to get it, because that cover and that title struck something with me. This one is by Ahmet, Altan, and it's translated from the Turkish by Brendan Freely. Oh yeah, because I bought these at the same time, realized they were both translated from Turkish, and the two translators are related to each other. I think they're married, because this one is translated by Maureen Freely, and this one is translated by whatever I just said. Jonathan Freely? What the fuck did I just say? Brendan Freely. So, crazy coincidence. This book is historical fiction, which I normally don't read, even though I know I just said that one's historical too. This one is in the years leading up to World War I, but it says that against the background of war against the Bulgarian army and the coup that resulted in the nation's one-party rule, a tormented, obsessive love affair unfolds between Nizam, the son of Hikmet Bey, and Russian pianist Anya. And I think this is also talking about themes of censor. I can't speak today. Oh my God. This is talking about themes of censorship, and that all sounded very interesting to me. I kind of, at the time, I think was in the mood for a big book. But then come to find out, I think as I was reading the blurb, like in the video that I was hauling this, I realized it's the third in a quartet, so which I have not read the first two. So I haven't read this yet because I need to read the other ones first. I have since hauled the first one in the series, and I do want to get to that this year, but this one probably is not going to happen this year. Even if I read the other first two, this one probably isn't going to happen until next year at the very soonest. So still love this title, Dying is Easier Than Loving, and do want to get to this. And I've heard since good things about this Ottoman quartet, but yeah, that one, lots of mistakes were made on that one, honestly. Who knows? So because it was a special event at the bookstore, they give away ARCs for free since you can't resell them. And the one that I got, which is so lucky, was Abyss by Pilar Quintana. This is translated from the Spanish by Elisa Dillman, and it's published by One World. When I was trying to pick a book, I was like, God, I really want to get a translated book. Like, that would make my day. And I knew a translated book was probably going to be a paperback, so I was trying to go for the paperbacks, and it just said if it was like fiction or nonfiction on it, but I was like holding it up to the light and stuff like that. I couldn't see what it said, but I was like, this little one, a lot of translated books are smaller, I'm gonna go for it. So I picked it, and whew, man, did I manifest this thing, I'm telling you. But this one, I think, since was shortlisted for the National Book Award in translation, but I have not read this yet, sadly. I really want to. It's been on multiple TBRs. But this one follows Claudia, who is an 8-year-old narrator, and she's trying to understand the world, make her way in the world, but her parents are maybe not the best examples. Her father is really emotionally repressed, doesn't say much, and her mother is very ingratiated in celebrity culture and like reads celebrity magazines all day, and I don't think has the clearest view of reality for Claudia to go by. But I think the inciting incident in this is that it says an interloper arrives, and that starts disturbing the balance of this family. So heard great things about this. Obviously, it was shortlisted for the National Book Award in translation, and I do really want to read it, so hopefully I can get to this one sometime soon. But that one got for free, so thank you to Queen Book Company. And the last one is another one that I have read, thank God, honestly, because there's only been one other book in this video that I've read, and that is Papaya Salad by Elisa Macellari, and it's translated from the Italian, I believe, by Carla Roncalli di Montorio. I might have butchered that. Carla Roncalli di Montorio. Okay, I think I got it. And this one is a graphic nonfiction about the author's grandmother. Ooh, I don't know if I can remember anymore. I think it's about how her grandparents met during the war, and her grandfather, who is Thai, was in Italy at the time that the war kind of fully broke out and was stuck in Italy for a while, and there met his future wife, and it's about that story. I did enjoy this. I still have it. I will probably read it again at some point because clearly I can't remember it very well, but the art style is really beautiful as well. And I think I heard about this book and wanted to pick it up because, oh God, what's her name? I saw someone on BookTube review this, and I was trying to read more graphic works at the time, so I picked it up when I saw it in the bookstores. All right, I'm popping back in here really quickly in a different place. I'm filming on a different day because I forgot to do my TBR pick at the end of this. So popping back in to tell you that the book that I have chosen, of the ones that I have not read, is Cold Nights of Childhood. I'm really excited for this. I think the themes are just something that I want to get into at the moment, and it is also short, so that's always a plus. So I think with the rest of my TBR for the month of June, this will fit really well, and excited to read this one. So let me know if this would have been the book that you picked to put on my TBR, or if you would have picked something else, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!